Hello, everyone, and welcome to our little Paddock 43 mini series. A few little mini episodes just talking about certain topics that we would like to cover. And today we are covering something very important, something that impacts every race, obviously. What is it, Amy?
We're going to talk about flags. The different flags throughout an F1 weekend.
And there are a lot of flags.
Not just your standard red and beige flag.
Your black and white checkered.
That was one for the girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok, you know what we're talking about. Your beige flags.
That went
We've all experienced some red flags in our lives.
just like the Ferrari boys. They're walking red flags.
Maybe one of them more than the other.
Yeah.
So I reckon we should start with a very easy one and one that we all know because we see it whilst we drive every day. Usually you see a green light, but this one is the green flag. And it's used to indicate that the track is clear and you're good to go. So it could be, start of a warm-up lap or a practice session or qualifying session immediately after an incident even. So after there's been a safety car deployed. And like it sounds, it just means go.
Race is back on.
Green means go.
Green means go.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I guess that's a basic one. You also see it waved once it's lights out and away we go. You see, most people aren't actually paying attention to this, but you see a little man at the end of the cars, between the cars and the safety car, waving a flag.
Pat, what's a blue flag?
A blue flag, there's a few meanings, but typically speaking, a blue flag is waved to inform a driver that they're about to be overtaken. It does take a slightly different meaning for the race compared to sessions throughout the weekend. So within the pits, it's shown to inform a driver leaving the pits that traffic is approaching. So that's obviously super important. During practice, it's shown to inform a driver that a faster car is close behind and is about to overtake. When the cars are going the speeds that they're going, obviously they have sort of split seconds to take note of what's going around them, but having a poor marshal shake his arm around and waving a blue flag, that's something that the driver will be able to see. And then during a race, and sadly this does happen a lot, so during a race, it's shown to a driver who's about to be lapped. So if a driver is shown the flag, they actually have to sort of pull aside and let the faster car overtake them. If 3 warnings are ignored, they will be penalised. It's sad. You always feel a little bit sad when you see these things happen, like, oh, they are going to get lapped.
You know the FIA love giving out their penalties, so
they love a penalty. But yeah, so those are the 3 ways a blue flag is used.
And then there's a white flag, which is to inform a driver that there is a much slower vehicle ahead. It's sometimes used at the end of a practice session when a driver is completing their practice starts, or I think sometimes, I could be incorrect, but it could be used during, a qualifying if there's a slower driver up ahead.
it's not
Wave
really
the
a very
white flag.
common flag to say.
Yeah, so we won't really see that on TV and the broadcast. You might see it live if you're, out at the track in front of the white flag.
There are a lot of flags and some that you don't see so often. And this is one that you don't see that often, is a yellow flag with red stripes.
Yeah, can't say I've ever taken notice of it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's like the Catalan flag.
They don't wave it though, because it is a motionless flag and it's actually to signal that something is on the track. So it could be deterioration in the grip levels on the track due to something like oil or water. So really it's just there's a hazard up ahead, and that's why they put that out there.
Yeah, so then the next flag is the good old yellow flag. So yellow flag is basically, I feel like we could have done a little pop quiz. Pop quiz. What is a yellow flag? What would you think a yellow flag is? That's just me giving you time to yell at the person you're sitting with. It means this. Well, Passenger, you are correct. The yellow flag is a signal of danger.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. So it's signal of danger and can be shown two ways. So a single wave, I tell you, these flag wavers are magicians. A single wave means drivers need to reduce their speed. So they cannot take and they need to be prepared to change direction. If there's a hazard on track, so a lot of the time if there's debris in a certain spot, the drivers are aware that they might have to swerve or something. It must be evident to the driver that they have reduced their speed. If not, they could be penalised. And then if a yellow flag is waved twice, so if it's shaken round, shaken round picture. Yeah, if that yellow flag's been shaken like a Polaroid picture, this means that drivers have to reduce their speed significantly. They also can't overtake. They need to prepare to stop direction because there is a hazard wholly blocking the track. So, sometimes we see like pretty intense crashes where the whole car is covering the track or part of a big chunk of the car is covering the track. And this is where you will see a double wave during practice and qualifying. It has to be evident that the driver hasn't attempted to set a meaningful lap. So basically they have to abandon the lap. They don't have to pit. They just have to abandon the lap. Amy, this next flag, she's an interesting one.
Code 60.
It sounds like a club.
It does. Get the fire burning. Get the fire burning.
Oh, Lordy.
Take us through the code 60, please.
Strap in. So code 60 is a weird one. So a race director may impose a speed limit around the entire track or any section of the track when a double yellow flag is displayed during practice sessions, qualifying, or a race. I'm almost thinking, does a code 60 just go with the yellow flag?
It does.
Yeah.
Double yellow flags.
Yeah. If a single speed limit is imposed around the entire track, this will be indicated with a single yellow flag and a board indicating FCY, which stands for full course yellow, or a purple flag with a white circle containing the number 60, known as code 60, which is a 60-kilometre speed limit.
So pretty much it brings everyone down to 60 kilometres.
Which is very
slow down.
Wop, wop, wop. Who wants to be in an F1 car going 60 k's an hour?
Not me.
Not me. Although, I mean, if that's my only opportunity to get into an F1 car, then yes, I will take it.
Or we will just hang on the back of it.
Yes.
At 60 k's.
60 k's seems like a safe.
I agree.
We say that, but then imagine doing. That brings us into the red flag. One that we saw at the Melbourne Grand Prix.
Too many times.
A lot of times.
Too many times. It left many of us very confused what is actually happening with the race. So how Formula One describes the red flag is that it's waved at the start line, and then when officials have decided to also stop a practice race, qualifying session, or a race with reasons ranging from a serious incident to poor weather conditions, they will also wave that red flag. So pretty much it means please stop. It's again like your good old traffic light. And in practice and qualifying, all drivers are then required to reduce their speed and also proceed back to their pit garages because, again, it's a red flag. We don't know what's going on. So we saw that way too much in Melbourne Grand Prix. We can do a deep dive for our followers into that if they'd like to. But pretty much just stop. And then we move to the black flag.
And just a quick one, whilst we're here at the red flag, and this might be a nice little PSA for some of our listeners. If you have any red flags in your life, whomever, job, person, hobby, and you're feeling it's a bit of a red flag, do as the Formula One would do.
And stop.
You stop.
We're also giving life advice on paddock
Also,
43.
what I should do right now, just stop. Wave that red flag in my face.
And now you can talk about
The black
black flag.
And yes, we move on to the good old black flag. The black flag is used to disqualify a driver and orders them to return to their pit garage at once.
So the last time there was a black flag in Formula One was during the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix. I am going to pronounce this so wrong. Giancarlo
Fisichella.
So yes, Pat can pronounce that a lot better than I can. As well as this driver, Felipe Massa, were both shown the black flag for violating pit lane rules.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember seeing a black flag anytime recently.
No.
We've got a few more flags on the agenda. One that we also don't see very often is a black flag with an orange disc. It's one that you're probably not going to see when you're watching F1 on the TV unless you were right in front of the flag, but you'd probably hear about it. And it's pretty much to inform a driver that their car has mechanical problems and they're likely to pose danger on themselves or others. So it does happen, but I would personally, I mean, I'm no engineer, say that 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't see that coming. So it does happen. And yeah, but then we have the good old black and white flag, Austria. That is where we saw this bad boy come on out.
The poor traffic control, I think his 2 weeks on, he's probably still resting his poor little arm from waving that black and white flag. But basically, the black and white flag is shown as a warning to a driver that they have been reported for unsportsmanlike behaviour. It is accompanied by the driver's race number, which also applies to the black flag and the black flag with an orange disc.
Pretty much when you get too many of those black and white flags, you get a penalty.
Get a nice penalty.
So in Austria, we saw
everyone. There were penalties everywhere.
We saw so
everywhere.
many. A lot of people getting 5-second penalties, 10-second penalties, which means that you have to, you either you take that penalty in the pit.
As well, Lando Norris almost got a penalty during the race in Silverstone.
Yeah.
For exceeding track limits. There was like 3 laps to go and he got a warning. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dear God, if you go over the track limits, I will personally fly to Silverstone and slap you.
We don't condone violence.
We don't condone violence at all. But then that brings us in, speaking of Silverstone and Lando Norris, Amy, take us off with the checkered flag.
And this is, of course, the most known flag, the checkered flag. Every celebrity gets to wave the checkered flag.
There's even an emoji for it.
Is there? Oh, yeah, there is too.
And there is a GIF. It's a famous flag.
We all know the checkered flag. So the black and white flag, it's checkered. Waved from above pit wall marks the end of any practice session, qualifying session, or race. It is waved until all competing cars have reached it.
And we've seen some incredible people wave the checkered flag. Do you guys have any favourites?
So various people that we've seen wave that checkered flag.
Stunning people.
Stunning celebrities and sportsmen. So we've got, people like David Beckham and Serena Williams. And Pat, you have a personal favourite that's waved the flag.
Both myself and Pat have a mutual favourite of Tom Holland.
And he may be small, but wow, he's mighty. He waved that flag so well.
Short King.
Short King waving
for
a
sure.
flag.
We love it.
Even Pele, he's done one before.
We've seen Victoria's Secret model Winnie Harlow.
Winnie Harlow. Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
I think, you've definitely made it if you get to be selected to wave checkered flag. But yes.
I think I would cry and pass out. So that is our second mini episode.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. Like we said, we'll be bringing more of these to your ears. If you have any requests or anything that you want to learn more about, we are here and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
And shout out to the F1 for helping us articulate all those flags.
Massive shout out. And if there's
F1, you're a big green flag in our eyes.
Yes.
Actually, a big checkered flag.
Green checkered flag.
Green checkered flag. Can we just add another flag onto the grid there?
Paddock 43 flag.
Paddock 43 flag. Speaking of Paddock 43, that's where you can find us on Instagram and TikTok. We're there. And if you have any questions about what you want to know about the F1 for these mini episodes, let us know.
We're here for you.
Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Keep the conversation going and make sure you like and subscribe. And please give us 5 stars.
If you're going to give us a 1 star, at least make it funny.
All right.
But ideally 5 stars that are funny too.
Yes, 5 stars, please. Thank you.
See you next week. Bye.